Hi, so we're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to be learning in this class. And the first part is I'm just going to kind of go through this, but what is mathematics, for example? Children's mathematical understandings are built on and a very rudimentary, informal knowledge, if you will, about quantity that they develop before you ever teach them anything that there is to know about numbers. For example, a young child will know immediately if someone gets more cookies than they have. They love to tell their age. They hold up their fingers to tell you how old they are. Somebody's probably taught them how to do that, though. Children typically use quantity during games, and especially when they get to be 4 or 5 years old, they love to know the score of a game. And teachers can use these kinds of early interests in communicating math related ideas to children and to foster greater competencies and make them really curious and excited about what they're learning with math. It's also really important that teachers provide a really rich environment and opportunities for preschool children to explore math skills. Effectively supporting their early math competencies requires the creative use of instructional tools like playing and drawing and computers. And, it's a whole new world nowadays, especially if you get to be my age, grandma age. And the core of any early childhood, a strong, successful early childhood, math curriculum should focus on developing their ability to problem solve. A lot of us, when we went to school, we would simply memorize the times tables or the addition table, and then we'd come back to school, we'd have a quiz, even before we really understood what it was that we were memorizing. But now, the world that we're in right now is not just memorizing those numbers, but it's really learning how to problem solve, developing the capacity to ask some really good thoughtful questions and to recognize problems that we have in the environment. And I remember a few years ago living here in California when we started with the whole water rationing, and children would ask questions like, am I using too much water? Is there enough water? All of those are math related questions. One child might put, when you have buttons, children have to learn how to align the buttons with the holes, one-to-one correspondence, if you will. And teachers also have to recognize that math instruction is not limited to a specific time of the day. There shouldn't be math time. Again, when we all went to school, we had a block of math, a block of English, a block of science. But now we really are realizing that it's more important for all of those subjects to be interrelated. And in order to get there, we have to learn how to do that. So that's number one that we're going to be kind of going through in this course. And not only that, but to think about mathematics all the time, to use it in almost everything that we do. We're also going to be talking about science. So what is science? So science introduces the simple classroom, the use of simple classroom and other kinds of investigations to help children learn and develop skills for asking questions, making hypotheses, gathering information, communicating those findings, and making informed decisions. And using their senses, including, I would say, common sense, which is one of the most important senses you can have, and common tools like, we always see those magnifying glasses and the little rudimentary microscopes, buckets, shovels, anything. But science is a way of learning about the natural world, and students should know how science has contributed to who and what we are as humans, etc. So that is part of what science and math are. We're also going to talk about engineering, and engineering is really using all of those tools that we have at our disposal in order to create solutions to problems. I didn't even know until I started really getting into STEM that there are plumbing engineers, electrical engineers, there's traffic engineers, all kinds of engineers. And then the last part of this, which is the technology part, I am a very firm believer in not really having screen time in early childhood. So everything that we're going to learn about technology, there's going to be minimal amount of screen time. It's really understanding a new language, which is coding, and understanding how technology is one of the tools that we have in order to make our lives more enriched in the sciences and the maths and things like that. So, oh, what a world it can be, and see you around in class.